Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Night Live. My name is Saquon here at Wilshire Ave, and we are so excited that you have chosen to join us. We know that it's been tough not being together in person, but we've loved having these services online for you and your viewing pleasure. So it's not too late to share this link with a friend, watch it with your family, to find a convenient time for you to just engage in this service. We have a game that we have planned for you, and so we would love for you to check this out.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy.
I'm Jordan.
And we are so excited that you are watching tonight. We are going to play a game that has to do with cheese because I love cheese.
And I definitely love cheese.
So
tonight we will be tasting cheese, one of these 8 varieties in front of us, and Saquon will be giving us a couple options as far as what cheese we're tasting, and we have to guess what cheese we're purchasing and eating. Eating, whatever. I purchased the cheese.
he bought it. I'm eating it. You ready?
I am.
Okay, I'm gonna eat it.
Creamy.
That's kind of like an aftertaste.
A little bit milky.
Yeah.
What are our options here?
Your 3 choices are Fromagère de Finios, Lamb Chopper, Lisa with Ramps.
What do you say, Amy?
Shoot. I'm gonna go with the French one.
I believe this is the lamb chopper.
Wrong, it is Lisa with...
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
we both got it
That was a
wrong.
good one. All right.
I mean, it's delicious, so. Okay, I'm gonna eat it.
It's a hard cheese.
Mm,
Mm,
it's delicious.
I know what this one is.
I feel like I do too.
Your choices are Lamb Chopper, Prima Donna Red, Smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda for sure.
Smoked Gouda is correct.
Very distinct smoky flavor.
Yep.
Gives it away. And it's creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Good cheese.
Delicious.
Good cheese.
Feeling it.
Okay.
Did you eat it?
No.
Okay.
Thinking. It's
It's
a
a
it's a
little
little
harder.
rubbery.
Yeah.
It's probably considered a semi-soft cheese.
It's not dry.
No. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Mm.
A little bit nutty.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, you can kind of use your tongue and like press it against the roof of your mouth.
Your options are Prima Donna Red, Cream, or Lamb Chopper.
I'm gonna go with Prima Donna Red.
I think it's the lamb chopper.
Lamb Chopper is
Ah.
correct. Lamb Chopper
I just
is
guessed at that
correct.
one.
Yeah.
That's really
That is
good
a good
though.
cheese.
I'd
That
get
is a
that
good
again
cheese.
for sure.
Yeah. Go down to Let It Breathe. Get some. It's 2 blocks away.
Delicious.
Oh, that's real soft. That's on the. It's on the. Is that even real cheese? Is that like a cheese they sell?
How do I eat this?
That's wet.
How do I eat
It's
this?
wet. I'm just gonna
Okay.
dive in.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, but it's good.
More people should eat that not for breakfast.
Your choices are cream cheese, string cheese, Prima Donna Red.
I mean, I'm gonna go
That one's a cream.
with the cream cheese,
That's a
which
cream
is
cheese.
always
Cream cheese
delicious.
is correct.
Great on a bagel. Great on my finger.
Great all the time.
Mm.
I really like whipped cream cheese.
Truth. I've had the best bagel I've ever had. Bagel, jalapeno cream cheese.
Ooh.
And then you put a little sausage patty and egg on that
That
thing.
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Well, I use whipped for like baking or cooking because it's easier to mix.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Right up here. Oh, it's a little soft.
A little squishy,
It's a little squishy, yeah.
but not.
mm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
This just brings me back
to your childhood.
a little bit. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, do we need options?
I think that's string cheese.
I think yeah.
It is string cheese. That
Okay.
that is correct. String
Yeah.
cheese.
That was pretty easy. I mean, I've eaten enough in my life to know.
Yeah, I've munched down on way too much string cheese as a child. I don't think my mom would be proud of me, but that's okay.
Still good though. I mean, for a quick snack.
Yeah. Oh, also, string cheese. Do you string it or do you just nom it off? Just
Depends on my
bite, bite,
mood.
bite. So you eat it like a Snickers sometimes?
Yeah.
It's not called stick cheese.
If I eat it with an apple, I'm gonna like bite it off.
So you're like one bite of apple, one bite of string
Yeah.
cheese?
Yeah.
Back and forth?
If I eat it by itself, probably gonna string it.
Yeah.
Down to 2 cheeses.
Two cheeses.
2
Okay.
cheeses.
Okay. Oh. It's
Oh.
again
Oh yeah. That's
soft.
very wet and soggy
Yeah.
and yeah.
There's a little bit of chunks.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the rind.
Okay.
I think this rind is edible.
Okay. I'm gonna
eat it.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh.
It's almost a little bit like soury.
Mhm.
It has a little bit of a scent.
Like a not like a bitter taste, but like I don't know.
And it's comparable to the cream cheese as far as like texture.
Right. I mean, I think I know what type of cheese, but the name I don't. I'm not sure. What are the options?
What are our options? Yeah.
Our final 2 options are Fromage Delfinos and Prima Donna Red.
I'm gonna go with the fromage dauphinois.
Yeah.
French.
I'm with her. Whatever
The
that
French
is.
kind that I can't pronounce is
Yeah.
correct.
Because it's probably like a brie.
It is a brie.
Okay.
It's a very soft, soft cheese.
Okay.
Great with crackers.
So then the
Great
last
with
one,
fruit.
we.
Great with
I mean,
fruit.
It's the.
It's got to be the Prima Donna Red, huh?
Do we need a blindfold?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we can take them off.
Whew.
All right. This
This
is
looks yummy.
it's a firm cheese.
Yeah. I think it's the hardest one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
There's some pockets
Yeah.
of like voids in here, so I don't know.
Good.
Aged.
Mm.
It's got some crunch in it.
Okay. This is like my favorite kind.
This is great. This is great.
I'd get this.
Wow.
Guys.
That's great.
Let it brie. Delicious. Also, grocery store. Delicious.
Try some new cheeses. Try some new things.
Full of calcium. Good for your teeth.
Facts. Not so much for your breath, but
No.
it's still great.
That's okay. Well, I guess that's it.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Should this be here? Testing. Testing. Why is it so fuzzy? Check. Please. Is that better? Hey everybody, my name's Tyler, and we are in a new series today called In My Opinion. Now we gave it that name because my opinion is the only one that matters. Psych! It's not why we gave it that name. We gave it that name because if there's one thing that we all have, it's an opinion. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like I hear the phrase, "in my opinion," a lot. Sometimes we use it when we're not totally sure how what we're gonna say will be received or if we're gonna be judged for it. So like, in my opinion, it's the best song ever written. Or like, in my opinion, those are the coolest sneakers I've ever seen. Or, in my opinion, that math test was awful. The one with the long division. I hate long division. We might use that phrase when we don't want other people to judge us, but it works both ways. Sometimes we use it to give ourselves permission to be the ones passing judgment. Like adding in a quick, well, in my opinion, makes us feel free to say whatever we really think. In my opinion, she's too clingy. In my opinion, that guy's a real jerk. In my opinion, that movie is so nerdy. See, on their own, those thoughts are merely judgments we've made about other people. But when we present them as opinions, we suddenly feel better about sharing them. So just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion, both having one and sharing one. The problem is that sometimes what we call an opinion is really just a judgment. It's something negative that we think or say about someone else. And when we start spreading those opinions around, well, then we've got a problem. You don't need me to tell you this, do you? You know exactly how much time people spend spreading their opinions around. You know better than most just how often students talk or gossip about each other. So why is it that we find gossip such an easy thing to do? Why do we feel so free to talk about each other? Well, I think honestly, it's for a few reasons. For starters, I think sometimes our insecurities, yes, I have insecurities, you do too. Well, insecurities sometimes motivate us to gossip. We talk about other people so that nobody points out what's wrong with us. After all, it's easier to focus on the insecurity of others than let them know what we're insecure about. Or maybe we gossip because it's a way to bond with our friends. If we can contribute to the conversation with a good piece of gossip, we feel like we've got an in with the people that we're talking to. And isn't it better to feel in than it is to feel out? Maybe we gossip because honestly, it's fun. We like to be the first to know a good story or crazy rumor or piece of information about someone else. There's just something exciting about being in the middle of the stuff that's happening at school or in our friend group or maybe even in our family. And because of that, we talk about it. Or maybe, for some of us, gossip is about competition. We want to be the best or the coolest or the most popular. And in order to get there, we feel like we have to cut other people down. We have to talk badly about others to show that we're the best. Or maybe, and this one is tricky, sometimes we gossip because it's true. Those opinions we share aren't just opinions, they're facts. That guy really did date that girl. That kid in your science class did really cheat on that test. That guy actually did show up at that party this weekend. That student in your small group definitely did get caught doing something they weren't supposed to do. Because it's true, we think it's okay to talk about. After all, they kind of brought it on themselves, right? And what's trickier than that is that sometimes we don't mean any harm with what we say. Our intentions aren't bad. We all talk to our friends about everything, and that includes the latest gossip. Sometimes we share it because we really are worried or surprised, or we want to help in some way. Besides, we trust the person that we're talking to, right? We know that they won't tell or repeat what we're saying, will they? How many of your conversations that include gossip start with a sentence like this? I'm not supposed to tell anyone this, but so like the reality is that the gossip is a huge part of our current culture. We have TV shows and podcasts and other forms of entertainment that are basically centered around the idea that it's okay to gossip and judge people. Some celebrities build their entire brand on being talked about. They don't mind being the center of gossip because it means they're the center of attention. And social media? Honestly, the comment section could just be called like the gossip section on some posts. Maybe you even see this at church or at home or at your school. Your parents, your teachers, your coaches, your small group leaders, they gossip around you. So could it really be that big of a deal? I think we all know the answer to that question is yes. We know because we've seen gossip go so bad. We've seen the consequences and the hurt and the embarrassment it's brought on somebody else. Maybe we've even experienced it ourselves. But is there anything that we can do to change it? If gossip is such a big part of our culture, how are we supposed to keep from doing it? Today, we're gonna look at a verse from the Bible written by a guy known as the Apostle Paul. So Paul was a leader in the early Christian church. He had a lot of influence that spread Christianity all around the world. Because of that, he often wrote letters to encourage the Christian churches of his time. A lot of those letters are part of what is called the New Testament in the Bible. The verse we're gonna look at today is from a book called Ephesians, which is actually a letter Paul wrote to the church in the city of Ephesus. Paul wanted to encourage the believers there to live differently than the people around them. One of the areas where Paul wanted his fellow Jesus followers to live differently was the way that they spoke. Here's what he wrote. Don't use foul or abusive language. See, when Paul used the phrase foul and abusive language here, he wasn't just talking about like cuss words or harsh words or mean names. He was talking about any language that hurts, breaks down, and damages friendships, relationships, and influence. In fact, the Greek word he used here actually translates to mean rotten. Have you ever seen a piece of rotten fruit? Well, it's disgusting, it smells bad, it turns a nasty color, it attracts flies. How I said it smells bad, really bad. That is tough. Basically, you don't want this in your kitchen. I don't even want this around me right now. Rotten fruit's bad. And Paul said this kind of language, like these opinions that we spread around as gossip, it does the same thing. It rots our relationships, our friendships, our ability to influence other people for good. So what can we do? How do we start to produce good fruit instead of rotten fruit with the words that come out of our mouths? Well, I think something Jesus said can give us an idea. Take a look. It's not what goes into your body that defiles you. You are defiled by what comes from your heart. Can I just let you in on a little secret about gossip? It's not really about the person you're talking about. Gossip is really about what's happening inside of you. It's about what's happening in your heart. That's what Jesus was saying here. When we use language that hurts or speaks badly about somebody else, the kind of language that rots, that's happening because of something similar, something rotten going on in our own hearts. When you talk badly about someone or speak with the intention of hurting or embarrassing or just shaming them, it doesn't necessarily show something rotten about that person. It shows that something rotten's happening inside of you. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not the kind of fruit I want to produce in my life. So if we want to change our words and stop gossiping, we've got to check our hearts. We've got to ask ourselves, what's going on inside of us that makes us want to say those things? And then we've got to make a choice to change our language. But here's the truth. When it comes to gossip, you can choose not to participate. You can choose not to speak words that hurt or shame or embarrass someone else. And here's what I love about this. Paul didn't leave us to figure it out on our own. If we go back to his letter one more time, he gives us a tip on exactly the kind of language we can choose that's not only better for the other person, but better for ourselves. He says, let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. So instead of gossiping, Paul says we can choose words that are good and that are helpful. We can choose to say things that encourage not just the people that we're talking about, but anyone else who hears what we say. In other words, we can choose words that help others, not words that hurt others. When you love and care about other people first, when that's the attitude in your heart, you'll stop yourself from saying the negative things. You'll think about them before you. You'll stop the gossip before it starts. So remember, choose words that help others, not words that hurt others. Gossip is going to be all around you, and everyone else might be doing it, but you get to choose if you contribute or not. In fact, you have the power not to do what everyone else is doing. You have the power to choose words that build up instead of tear people down. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but just because gossip is fun or natural or true doesn't mean it's good. And you don't have to do this on your own. God's very Spirit lives inside of you, and He'd love to help you choose to speak life instead of words that rot. So, ask Him for help. So next time you find yourself about to give an opinion you know is nothing more than gossip, I want you to stop and ask yourself this. Why do I want to say this? What's happening in me that's making me want to say this thing to or about someone else? What does this show me about my heart? Identify where your desire to gossip is coming from. Then, give yourself a new filter for your words. Use the one Paul gave us by asking, is this helpful? Is what you're about to say helpful to somebody else? Is it going to build up or encourage? Is it gonna bring good fruit instead of this? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then that's probably a sign that you don't need to say it. Let that stop you from saying it. We should choose words that help others, not words that hurt others. So today, as you leave, I want you to think about this. What's one reason I tend to gossip?
That was a great message. Now let's find out who gets this week's pizza.
Hey guys, it's time for pizza. Our favorite time of the night. Make sure you keep it real, keep it fresh, just like the slices of pizza you're getting tonight. Whoa! What up, baby? Gianni! That's what's up. Thanks, guys. I'm really grateful. Sorry about that outburst. It's just, I've been really pent up in my house, and this COVID thing just tearing me up. But, love you guys. Enjoy pizza. Thanks for participating.
Wow, that was such a great night. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that we can be together soon. So keep that in your prayers. And we're so excited that you have tuned in with us tonight, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.